Seniors, this one's for you. Are you looking for something to do that's out of this world? Why not head to MOSH? Eddie Whistler is the director of the Brian Gooding Planetarium, and he joins me now with details of an upcoming event for seniors. We'll talk about some other things too, but thank you for coming to First Coast Living again.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's so much fun.
Let's talk about the Silver Space Series.
Sure.
What exactly is that?
The Silver Space Series is a series that we have that takes place in the planetarium. Folks who are 55 and up, you are allowed to come in on a day that we're closed to the public. The whole museum is yours, just from 9 to 10. And then from 10 to 11:30, that's 90 minutes, we're in the planetarium. And that seems like a long time, but we have an intermission built in, and there's refreshments and coffee and donut holes and da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Sounds good to me.
And that's when I come around and other staff members, we chat with everybody, get questions from them, and then the last part of that planetarium portion, we're using the full 60-foot dome, the planetarium, to answer those questions that we kind of had conversations with folks during the intermission about.
Very nice. Okay, and the topic, because this is a recurring event, right?
Yes.
Every other month, something like that. And this topic is going to be the James Webb Space Telescope, right?
We've had nothing but questions about the James Webb Space Telescope. So I was like, okay, making this schedule, we're going to start the year talking about this awesome contraption. Contraption. That's what I called it.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay, so we do have a couple images we want to show, or a few images.
So these are new images of the that came from JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope. And what we're seeing here are really off to the right-hand side. We're looking at kind of zoomed in portions of the larger picture that's on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And so these are, let's just go ahead and call this a big nursery for star formation. This is one of the things that we're studying with James Webb. I say we because humans are learning about this kind of stuff. You can say we too. We did this, and then you get to take credit for other people's hard work. Isn't that the way you like to do it? That's awesome.
It almost looks fake though. Okay, look at this, the pillars of creation, right?
So this was an image that was made famous by the Hubble Space Telescope, but this is James Webb's version, and so this is going to lead us nicely. What's going on here is also similar to what's going on in the previous picture, but at the tips of the pillars, they call those the pillars of creation. It's part of a much larger dust cloud and gas cloud in space. We're looking at a small part of this.
Wow.
But you can see those leading edges. Let's come back to our demonstration before we go to the Moon Titan right there. Maybe we can get to it, maybe we can't. But I have a little demonstration to kind of show what that Eagle Nebula or the pillars of creation come from. Okay. So what I have right here, and this is so basic, so easy, but it also helps describe what it is that we're seeing. Okay, so turning that away so that we don't have glare. What I have here is just flour on a dark piece of paper. And now what we're going to do is make a little, oh, there
Space
I am.
Hello. That's
what I'm going to do is we're going to create stellar wind.
Okay.
And it's going to blow into this cloud of dust and gas.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay. And now, you know, everybody understands what it was that we just did right there, but we have like denser parts of the flour that are still there. You can imagine that's what the pillars of creation are from. We have stellar wind in space that's blowing through space. Space is an active place. It's not dead and boring. And so stellar winds and exploding stars and things like that can send energy through space, and what we get are, if you want to go back to that pillars of creation image, are just these heavily eroded clouds of dust and gas.
It's, I mean, so simple, like you said, a basic demonstration, but it does explain a little bit more. That's really interesting.
It certainly does.
Okay.
And this is the place where like star formation happens. There's baby stars inside of those.
Baby stars.
If you listen at night very closely on a quiet night, you can hear them crying.
Oh, I'm sure. All right, really quickly, we're running low on time, but the moon images that you were talking about, what is that exactly? Sure.
So that's James Webb Space Telescope has taken an image of one of the moons of Saturn, and we see it's two different. Actually, that's one instrument, different filters on the instrument. You know, without getting into it, we will at the show. Those are two different images that show us so much. Look at how Earth-like that one on the right is.
Right.
That doesn't mean that it is Earth-like, but we can see oceans where you see the Kraken mare. That's kind of a sea of methane. It's liquid methane. Water on that place is going to be solid like bedrock.
Oh, wow.
And so, very different world, very different things going on. We're learning all kinds of things because of James Webb Space Telescope and the constellation of telescopes around the world. You come to the planetarium, we make that stuff come to life, and you can think about immensity and eternity and all those fun things that make your brains bleed out of your ears a little bit.
Well, I don't know if I want that necessarily, but I'd love to learn more. So where can we go for more information on all the events?
So you come to our website. It's called, it is TheMOSH, TheMosh.org.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, there's so many. I was on there playing around, looking. There's so many fun things on there. So thank you again for joining us and helping us understand. Exactly.
Okay.
And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head to our website at firstcoastliving.net. Thanks, Eddie.